Sometimes in inner city neighborhoods and more urban environments, opportunities will come up where there's vacant land, where the city or a town will tear down a property that needed to go down, and now you're left with a vacant spot of whether it's not used, or it collects trash, or it becomes overgrown and becomes kind of a blighted spot in the community. So what we've been able to do is, in certain areas of this neighborhood, neighbors have come together and decided that, hey, we can complain about that spot or look at it as an eyesore or whatever, or we can have some creativity and imagination and discover or dream what this could be. Behind me here is a community garden where neighbors that happen to be particularly around here have worked together in tilling the soil and planting plants and weeding, setting up plots, planning of what's going to be here, what's not, and what you end up with is cool now, because it's right in the middle of the summertime. It's quite a green garden. This lot here happens to be a lot that was owned by the city, and what we've been able to do with working with neighbor groups is we've gone to the city first and saying, hey, we'll enter into a maintenance agreement with you. We'll take care of it, we'll maintain it, we'll cut the grass, we'll make sure it looks nice. And they've been more than willing to do that with us, because it's not an expense that they don't have anymore. And they've also been willing to include the water in some of our gardens where they're paying the bill for those things. The city has been good about bringing out and helping us with the tilling. This spot back here was tilled by the city. They brought out a big rototiller and ran it through in the early springtime and getting us ready. And then so we entered into the agreement with them. They help with some of the prep work, and then it's our responsibility now to maintain it. Now it's about communicating with neighbors, connecting neighbors, bringing people together who might have an interest in this, and saying, hey, what do you see here? What are your dreams? What plants in particular do you want to have, or is it just flowers? What are you looking to kind of get out of this? And as neighbors begin to buy in and have input into these decisions of what's going to be here, they're more likely to follow through. We either get plants donated, which you can find nurseries all over that are more than willing to help, or other organizations that are willing to help. And you secure those things. We set a date that's going to be a planting date. We make sure all the soil's ready and prepped, and then we bring the community together, and we kind of make it more of a celebration, if you will, where there's a cookout and people bring things to share, and you have drinks available, and trying to provide all the materials and tools that they need for that evening. And then you're just working together in the soil, throwing things in the dirt, sectioning things off, making sure the plots are set, and then it's kind of the follow through. All right, who's responsible for watering, what days, making sure that those things are seen through. And at the end of it all, we're looking to have a big celebration here of neighbors at the end of the season coming together saying, hey, look what we did, this is what we're getting out of it, what are your experiences been, what are you looking forward to next year, and begin to get the ball rolling, that people are beginning to think more long term and what can happen, not just in a garden sense, but in the neighborhood sense. Once they come together, they start talking, there's ideas, passions, gifts that are there, and then they decide, hey, oh, you're interested in that? Well, maybe we can do that together. And what we find a lot of times is neighbors that see this, that live close by, it's a great reference point for us to be able to talk to them and saying, hey, did you see that garden over on Larchen Terrace? What can happen on your street or in your block? Or you have a vacant lot on your street that city owns or somebody owns, and can we make something of that? And it seems to pick up momentum as you go. More people see it and they think, oh yeah, well, we can make that happen. That should be something we can go through too. And so it kind of continues to build. When neighbors work together, doing positive things, the end result is, hey, we'll be picking vegetables out of here and we'll get fruits out of this garden, and we'll have some flowers we can take home potentially. But neighbors working together and really building community, that's kind of the tangible thing that you can't see, but you know it happens as neighbors begin to know each other better, know each other's names, their kids' names. They begin to look out for what's going on around them and take ownership, actually, of a piece of property in their neighborhood here where they can drive by or they can point people to and say, hey, I was involved in this, we did this together, we worked on this, we made this happen.